Welcome to the Bronx Journal. I'm Elizabeth Molina. Do you think the youth are receiving adequate sexual education from their schools? What about their parents or even their friends? Talking about the use of condoms and contraceptives to prevent pregnancy and sexual diseases can be a touchy subject for most. That's why it's important to place outreach programs in middle schools and high schools for students to be informed and prepared. Changing the Odds is a Bronx teenage pregnancy prevention program. Its mission is to provide positive support with trained facilitators who encourage students to become thriving, successful, engaged young adults. Here to tell us more is Program Director Estelle Raboni, Program Coordinator Jessica Holzer, and Changing the Odds student Jeffrey Williams. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So just getting to it, what is Changing the Odds?
So Changing the Odds is a positive youth development program that we're replicating in 12 middle and high schools throughout the Bronx. We're reaching 6th graders, 7th graders, 9th and 10th graders, and we're replicating the program called the Teen Outreach Program. It's an evidence-based program that means it's been proven to be effective, and it's been proven to be effective against teen pregnancy. It also shows, which is very significant for the Bronx, to increase graduation rates and decrease school failure rates.
Ooh, that's very good.
It's extremely important.
And who started the program?
So the Teen Outreach Program was started through the Wyman Center, which is through St. Louis, but the Changing the Odds program has been started by Morris Heights Health Center. We're one of 78 grantees through the Office of Adolescent Health, which is a new office in the Department of Health and Human Services. And basically it's the current administration's effort to really decrease and have an impact on lowering teen pregnancy rates.
And how long has the program been running?
So this is our first full year of implementation. Jessica and myself, we started last year in the program. I was hired specifically to spearhead this program, and this is really our first full year through the first academic year.
And why in the Bronx?
You know, the Bronx, with all of its beauty and all of its assets, still has a lot of issues that are confronting our young people. In contrast to the rest of the country, we have the highest teen pregnancy rates, we have the highest HIV rates, we have very high school failure rates and low graduation rates. So there are a lot of issues that young people in the Bronx are facing that they wouldn't face if they were growing up, let's say, on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. So it's really important for programs like this to exist, to really change the trajectory for young people in the Bronx, to get them from a place where they might be at risk to really succeed and become engaged, successful adults.
And Jessica, how did you become a part of the program? You're the coordinator.
I am one of, two program coordinators. I actually heard about the job opportunity through the Hunter College listserv. So I had just finished my master's program at Hunter College, and I was teaching at another school. And I heard about it. I heard about the job opportunity that way.
How are the facilitators appointed to this program?
So Jessica could speak to this as much, but we really look at people who really have a commitment to young people, who do youth development work, have done youth development work. Originally we were looking at social workers, teachers, people who are health educators, people who are in public health, and really have a great crew of facilitators right now who are working with us. Okay. And we just look at really passionate people because one of the most important parts of the program is that young people feel safe, physically and emotionally safe with a facilitator, and that they develop a mentor relationship with that adult. Because again, a lot of young people growing up, you know, parents are very busy, sometimes young people don't have parents that they're growing up with, so they really need an adult to help them sort of navigate their way through life and really make them feel safe.
And how do you build a trusting relationship with the students?
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we all have our different strategies, but I think there's sort of a foundation of respect that you have to have for students. I think the relationship sort of builds off of there, a respect, an understanding, an acceptance of who they are, exactly how they are, and I think it sort of develops from there, but I think it has to come from a respect of the students.
And I mean, Jeffrey can probably speak to this as well, but one of the things that we don't do, and you'll see this a lot when you go into schools, kids are being yelled at all day long.
Yeah.
They're being told to shut up. They're being told to sit down. They're being told to, you know, not behave in a particular way. That's not the way that we do our program. We really emphasize that facilitators should not talk as much and the young people should talk more. We guide conversations. We don't lead conversations.
Okay.
Every project, every discussion, we really try to sort of lead them in, but help them just speak for themselves. And we just really try to have as much respect for the young people as possible, even if they're not very respectful towards us. We really try to emphasize that we respect them, we honor what they say, we honor their reality, which is very important, and a lot of young people don't get that.
And just understand their reality a little bit too.
And Jeffrey, how was it coming into the program and trying to build that trusting relationship with a facilitator?
It was real good. Like this is like my very first time in the CTO program.
And what grade are you in?
I'm in the 10th grade.
Okay. What school?
Community School for Social Justice.
Nice. And what do you enjoy about being in the program?
Like we have fun. We do lots of things.
Like what?
Like we talk about like the sex and stuff, like how to prevent getting HIV, AIDS, and other diseases that's out there in the world.
I noticed that in the program you were learning how to, you were learning stop and frisks, how to talk to a police officer in case.
Not in his particular club, but in my club. That was in the club that I facilitate. So each club has their particular project that they work on. Jeffrey can talk more specifically about that school's and that club's project, but my club, because the school is a block away from where Ramarley Graham was shot and killed, they really felt that stop and frisk was a project that they wanted to focus on. And because most of the students in my club are African American and Latino, and they're basically the targets for stop and frisk, they really wanted to address that.
Oh.
Yes.
And what are the benefits of CTO?
So I would say the benefits of CTO are many. So one of the pieces that young people get that they don't get from school are life skills. And when you say life skills, people don't really know what you're talking about. But schools have really focused on getting kids to graduate, accumulating credits, but they really have sort of forgotten about life skills. And life skills are things like, you know, how to communicate, how to put your, you know, how to assert your needs in a way that's respectful, not aggressive or in a violent way, but respectful. How to make a plan. What are your plans? What would happen if you made a decision that could, you know, derail your plans? What would be the consequences? So it's really helping to get young people to think critically and to think about what they could change about their lives. The other piece is, as I said, the adult-mentor relationship, so that relationship with a facilitator, which really has a profound impact with a lot of young people. We've had some situations in our various clubs where, because of that comfort, because of that safety with the facilitator, they've actually come up to the facilitator and told them about some serious situations that have happened in their lives, like abuse or you know, molestation and that kind of thing. And because we are affiliated with Morris Heights Health Center, we have school-based health centers in the school building, we're able to provide referral services for social workers, for health care, for other comprehensive health services. And then the last piece would be the community service piece. So for a lot of young people, they're put in a position where they're always seen as needing help as opposed to being able to offer help. And so the community service piece really is an opportunity for young people to assert their power, to really be able to see themselves as having power and being able to offer help. Even if they're 15 years old, they still have the capacity to have that power and to offer help to other people and to affect change. And so those are really the components that make it work.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. It is.
That's really good. Jessica, when it comes to teaching these students, how many clubs do you have, and what are the benefits so far for them being around somebody who's trained and has experience with being around kids? Because being around, it's a trust issue where it's a big deal to go ahead and open up. How do you actually get these students to open up?
I don't know, how do I get them to? You know,
or Jeffrey, if you...
Yeah, I think that's a your question.
Like, how did it actually, you know, how did you actually build up with it?
Jeffrey's actually in my club.
Ah.
Yeah, so I facilitate 3 clubs, and one of them is at the Community School for Social Justice. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you get them to. I just feel like you create an environment that's safe and supportive, and they know you care.
So what are your expectations?
So
What are your expectations so far from the program?
What do you mean?
In the sense of you're in a program and they're telling you that they can help you so much, so, and what do you want from it? What do you want to learn?
Like not become like a big deal of anything, like a parent or anything at a young age.
Okay. Was there anything that you've learned so far that you didn't know before entering the program?
No.
Are there any future plans for CTO?
So we are expanding. We're currently in 12 middle and high schools. Next year we actually are expanding to District 75, which are schools for students who are developmentally disabled, who need special education.
Okay.
And so that means that we need to look at the program and customize it for that population. There may be some activities or some topics that we really need to drill down into and really figure out what is the best way to offer that information to that population.
All right. Well, is there any way, do you have a website or any contact information, an email that, you know, if anybody wanted to come in and help?
Absolutely. If they wanted to come in and help, they can email me, which is eraboni@mhhc.org. And we do have a page on the Morris Heights Health Center website.
Okay.
So if they Google Morris Heights Health Center, they'll be able to find the website.
And you, Jessica? Do you have an email?
Yeah, it's JHOLZER, also at Morris Heights, mhhc.org.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.